So let me tell you now a story of old about a small piggy boy. He lived on a small farm in a land that could have been your own, but not with his mother, not his father, and not his siblings. He lived with the old sow in the sty. The family wouldn't let him live with them. They thought he stank, that he was ugly, and they didn't like his skin color. But the boy did not care. He loved his mother, the old sow in the sty. And this noble creature cared more for him than any family ever would. She kept him warm all through the night and was always anxious when he was out of sight. Whenever the skies opened up and lightning struck the ground, she would be the one to keep him safe. And so he lived. In the morning, he milked the cows and cleaned the house. At noon, he worked the fields, and at midday, he mostly did as he pleased. But this day, the father had another task for him. Go into the forest and gather nuts. Today is the day of the moon festival, and we're gonna have a feast. Do a good job, and you'll get a special treat, the mother chimed in. To the forest he went and gathered nuts. This must be my lucky day, he thought, as he found the squirrel's nest. With basket full of nuts, he ran home at a hop, whistling a happy tune. When he arrived back at the farm, the father was quick to give him a new task, all with the lure of the special treat. All through the day he worked, until evening came, and the family had indeed prepared a grand feast. The little boy were allowed to sit at the table and eat with the family as if he were one of their own. They talked and they ate through the evening to the middle of the night. Vegetables that strengthened both mind and nerve. Meat so savory you wouldn't believe. And an apple pie so sweet and good it had made him cry. He ate more than he had ever eaten in a meal before. And when he felt like he couldn't take another single bite, the mother stood up. I think it's now time for the special treat, she said and smiled. A big platter with a lid she fetched and put it down in front of the boy. His belly was so full, but he couldn't help his eagerness to see what would be his special treat. His heart sank as he lifted the lid. There on the platter was the head of his mother. the snout he knew so well, that had comforted him through many a night, the beautiful pink hue of her skin, and the kind black eyes that now had gone grey. He tipped over, crawled away, and looked at it with horror. The mother leaned in and said, "What's the matter, my little piggy boy? You're not hungry? What did you think? That we'd leave the best part out? Go on now and eat your sow." He looked left, he looked right. The siblings grinned, and the father looked at him thoughtfully. "Well, if you won't have it, then I will." And then he cut out a slice of the sow's cheek and slowly let it slide inside his mouth. "Mmm, this old piggy is delicious," he exclaimed. The boy panicked. He ran, he screamed, he wailed. He saw nothing but his mother's head on a platter. Into the forest he ran, blindly into the dark, until his legs gave out, and on the ground he fell. His screams echoed through the wind. Oh, how he wished to see his mother, but not on a platter. All through the night he cried, alone in the dark. But then a soft voice whispered nearby, "Oh, sweet boy, what's the matter? Why are you crying so?" The boy looked around, but the origin of the sound could not be found. "Here, boy, I'm right in front of you," the voice said. And in front of the boy stood a tall rock. "There you go, boy. I'm here, right inside the rock." A moment of curiosity flared inside the boy's mind. "But how can you be inside a rock?" "Oh, you see, I'm what you might call a spirit of the forest." "Forest spirit?" "Yes, I live here in this rock. But please, child, tell me what awails you so." And the boy told the spirit about his mother on a platter, the old sow in the sty. Oh my, what a cruel fate indeed, my poor boy. The boy cried, leaning on the rock, wetting it with his tears. "Oh, I cannot see. I cannot stand to see such a sweet boy suffer so," the spirit said. "Boy, I will grant you one wish. Whatever it might be, I will see to it that it so will be." "Anything?" "Yes, anything. Now, what will it be?" "I want to be with my mom. Please, please let me see her." "So you have asked, and so it will be," the spirit answered. The boy waited and looked around, but nothing happened. "Walk around the rock on the other side, my boy." And so he did, but there was nothing there. "Look down, sweet boy, underneath the rock." There, underneath the rock, was a small hole. Inside he could see a tiny glow, a glow he recognized as his mother's eyes. "You will have to dig, or you won't fit," the spirit ushered. And so he did. Further and further, and the farther he got, the more of his mother he could see. And now she was squealing for her son. "Mom! Mom!" he called. "Just a little bit more," the spirit encouraged. Finally, he reached her. He hugged her head and cried tears of joy. Her wet snout touched his forehead, and she licked his cheeks. He felt happy, he felt safe. And then the rock tipped and tipped and fell, crushed his little head. "Sleep now, child. You will never hurt again." And the forest grew quiet. Back at the farm, the sun had dawned. The day of the moon had passed, and it was time to break the fast. "Breakfast ready," the mother called. She only called once, and soon the family would forget that there had ever been a piggy boy. And deep in the forest, underneath a stone, a silent scream could be heard. "Jester! Jester! Jester of the night!"